Phase 2, Program 2, Workout B. We're going to begin with kettlebell swings. Now, the thing that I want us to focus on for the first week when it comes to teaching the kettlebell swing, I want you to think as if you're trying to jump towards the ceiling. So what jumping towards the ceiling helps us do is extend the knees and the hips. So I want us to create this image of us going into a hinge, then exploding up. We want to think as if we're trying to jump towards the ceiling without going anywhere. So that's going to be the focus for kettlebell swings on the first week. Our focus for week 2 is going to be wait for the backswing. So the backswing is initially the bottom position of your swing. Oftentimes members have a tendency of hinging too early, so they end up looking like this. So what we want to do is we want to have them revisit the naked swing, or just kind of imagine that they're waiting for the bell to push them back into their swing. We're pairing that up with dead bug with a knee tuck. Now with the knee tuck, we can either go into a heel drop or the knee tuck, but let's go ahead and show what the dead bug knee tuck is. So from this position, my hand goes onto my knee, and what I want to do is go through my dead bug. Now as I'm going through my dead bug, I'm actively pushing my knee into my hand, bringing it back to center. So if our member isn't quite ready for that full extension, what you can do is drop the heel. And if that gets to be easy, then you can add in that leg drop. So again, I'm pressing my hand into my knee, I'm dropping my heel and my hand, and again I can progress to that full extension or start with the heel drop. So for our first week, our focus here is to press the knee into the hand. The second week is going to be pulling the ribs down. So as you're extending, don't let the ribs flare. Keep the ribs tucked down into the ground. And the last focus on week 3 is going to be rolling the low back into the ground. So when we think about rolling the low back into the ground, it's just helping us keep the low back stable as you're going through your dead bugs. Next, we're going to get into a banded USB bridge. With this, we're placing the mini band around the pads of your foot. Think around the ball of your foot. And what we're going to focus on for the first week is pressing your toes into the ground. So as we're going through this bridge, I'm ripping the bag in half. I'm going to tilt my low back into the ground. I'm going to drive my toes into the ground, get tight, bring it back down. Next week, we're going to focus on ripping the bag in half as you bridge. And on week 3, we're going to be focusing on controlling those hips down. Next, we're going to go into a push-up. So we know the variations of push-ups we have. I'm just going to talk about the focus. For week 1, our focus is going to be on pinching the shoulders back. So when we're talking about the push-up, we want to think about our shoulders pinching back as we're going down. So as I'm going down into my push-up, I'm trying to pinch my shoulders back. Now the next focus on the following week when it comes to the push-up is to be pressing the palms into the ground. So think about the wider base of your palms. That's pressing into the ground as you're standing tall. Week 3, our focus is going to be lowering yourself down slow and controlled. Next, we're going to move into a press out squat. So the press out squat is just to get range of motion. It's not about something heavy, it's just getting through a deeper range of motion. So our first week, we're going to be focusing on pressing the plate out as we're going down. Second week, focus on pulling the weight back towards you as you stand tall. Now on week 3, we're going to be focusing on driving your feet into the ground as you stand tall. So when we go through the press out squat, the plate starts at the belly button. As you start squatting down, pressing the plate out from the bottom position, you're going to start pulling the weight back, stand tall. Lastly, we're going to wrap up with TRX rows with pause, 2 seconds at the top, 6 reps. So when we go through this row, what I want us to focus on for the first week is to put your shoulders in the rear pocket. And what I mean by that is I want us to think about pulling our shoulder blades down. So in the past, when we think of pulling shoulders down, people think right here. I'm wanting people to focus more on shoulder blades. So put your shoulder blades in your rear pocket. Next week, we're going to be focusing on pulling with the lats. Again, that armpit muscle. And for week 3, we're going to be focusing on widening the chest at the top. So again, when I go through this row, I'm pausing 1, 2. Now when I think of week 3's focus on that widening of the chest, I'm just really focusing on pinching my shoulder blades back.